Cometh, my young homies. Now you had an awesome question. Yeah, can I hear the question again? Say it loud enough so everybody can hear.
How long does it take for animals to evolve? Us humans, it takes millions of years. But for animals like squids, they can do it really fast, squids. But how about animals here?
Wow, when you bring up squids and the cephalopods, like that's pretty impressive little part that we're gonna get into.
Theory.
Yeah. Well, all right. So how long does it take for animals to evolve? I'm gonna have you take this thing for me. How about that? So how long does it take for animals to evolve? Now, when you say us humans, it takes us millions and millions of years. But us humans, you know, we're only the humans that we are today. We've only been that for about 200,000 years. Not very long at all. Now, there are some like predating humans up to about like a 1.5, maybe 3 million years old, I think. That's it. But that's like our caveman kind of ancestor. Now, some animals, they're able to evolve super fast. Like I even say humans, because since the 1970s, guys, it's now 2020. Since the 1970s, humans are now on average 6 inches taller than they used to be.
Wow.
Now, if you've ever lived in a single wide 70s trailer, you'd know that. I'd be like the little island kitchen thing and be like here's it. Like, what'd you say, hon? But no, so we can evolve actually pretty quickly. A great example as far as birds go would be that how we were talking about the invasive kite snail, or not the invasive kite snail, but the invasive snail, the invasive apple snail, and how the snail kite, which is like a hawk that eats these apple snails, scientists thought that it was gonna really hurt this bird, these invasive apple snails. Well, in just a matter of a couple years, they evolved to have longer beaks to be able to take advantage of those bigger invasive apple snails, and are now making a comeback on it. You know, and when you talk about cephalopods, though, as far as like squids and octopus, did you guys know that cephalopods are the only creature on Earth? It could be debatable if they're aliens, because they literally prove Charles Darwin's theory of selective, or not selective breeding, but natural selection. Sorry. It's my birthday. No, it's my anniversary. But no, natural selection. It's the only animal that proves that to be wrong, because its DNA doesn't work like normal DNA. Its RNA moves on the fly. So think about this, guys. If DNA, does everybody know what DNA is? It's kind of like the architect. It lives inside of us, tells us what to be. It's their blueprints. It tells us to have four limbs, to have the 5 fingers. Now with an octopus, see the RNA, which is kind of like DNA. DNA is like the architect and RNA is like the builder. So imagine this. The builder always does his job. He reads the blueprints that the architect made, right? Well, in the octopus, it's not quite the same. So the RNA moves on the fly. The builder, he might go back to the architect, the DNA, and say, hey, while I was replacing that limb, I kind of noticed a trend that we were losing suckers, you know, so on these 3 new ones I built, I put teeth on them. You know, so its RNA can override, meaning it doesn't have to die to evolve. We die to evolve. Like, we can't evolve in a single, like, lifetime. It's not like those hawks, those snail kites were just grew a longer beak. Like, no, their babies had a longer beak, and then their babies had an even longer one, kind of thing. We have to die to evolve, so we thought, you know, unless we talk about cephalopods. That's a whole different weird story altogether.
I want to explain it the way this show explained it. A very educational show. You see, Mr. Gary explained it like that, but I'm going to explain it another way in case you want to hear it the other way.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to tell you guys how the RNA of the squid is different from humans. For us, the RNA cuts out the inferior pieces, but for the squids, they morph it. They change it around. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's right.
That is, you're absolutely right. It's like two different analogies saying the same thing. But isn't that weird though, how they can do that? Because like X-Men, for example, you know, like cephalopods are kind of like the X-Men. Oh yeah, like you guys know about X-Men, right? Like, come on now, got the new movies. Don't make me hanging. But yeah, it's the same thing. It's like being able to simultaneously evolve or to morph. I think that's just pretty cool.